You're watching Any Given Thursday. Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. It's a college football heavy AGT today. We want to get you guys caught up on what's going on in the transfer portal and college football, Chase, in the year of 2021. If you're not recruiting the transfer portal, you're doing it wrong, because there is always a lot of good talent that you can find in there. So we're going to break down the top 25 players in there. We'll focus more on some more than others, kind of more of an informational video on this one. But the big name, obviously, Chase, Spencer Rattler, the quarterback at Oklahoma. He said his goodbyes to OU. He's actually got 3 years of eligibility remaining.
Really surprising to see his tenure in Oklahoma end like this when he was brought in, one of the most highly touted recruits in the entire country, had an illustrious high school career, in the state of Arizona, and he has really all of the physical talent that you want in a prototypical drop-back quarterback. I'm just surprised that it didn't work out in Norman with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma, considering the body of work that Lincoln Riley has with quarterbacks. I mean, he won a Heisman Trophy with Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. He turned Jalen Hurts into a second-round pick. You're thinking, okay, Spencer Rattler's going to be able to come in and be the fourth elite quarterback that Lincoln Riley has had consecutively. Didn't work out that way. Maybe a change of scenery for Spencer Rattler is going to pay big dividends.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it's not like he's bad, right? I think,
love the throwing motion.
Oh, yeah, smooth motion.
Yeah.
He's 15-2 as a starter. I mean, he's won a lot of games. It's just things unraveled, and when you have a superstar freshman quarterback, the pressure builds. I still think he should be highly recruited in the transfer portal. Where will he play in 2022? Predict it for us. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Where will Spencer Rattler play next season? Go ahead and get your votes in. Eli Ricks, the cornerback out of LSU, Chase. This is one of the more talented corners in college football, and obviously with Edo out, Brian Kelly in, a lot of movement. You see this players enter the portal when there's coaching changes, but LSU cornerback, sign me up. I'm going to recruit that kid.
Oh, and they've had a long list of very elite cornerbacks at that program, and everybody wants to talk about Derek Stingley as, the guy that everybody was focusing in on, but he's pretty good as well. And here's the thing about college football nowadays, because of the transfer portal, because of name, image, and likeness, these programs can rebuild on the fly, and if it's more of a retooling than it is a rebuilding process now for a lot of these programs across the country.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You just plug and play. I mean, get
exactly.
These guys, they're ready to go. I mean, it's free agency. Let's be honest. That's where we are in college football. So Eli Ricks at number 2. How about Dillon Gabriel? UCF, 3 years of eligibility remaining. He set some school records for Central Florida. He was so good, Chase, that UCF, barring the McKenzie Milton injury or not, they might have not gone back to Milton. That's how good Gabriel ended up playing there. Gabriel gets hurt this year. He's decided to move on to a different program. Left-handed kid, but he can really spin it. He's mobile. I think he could plug and play at a Power 5 program. If for whatever reason Caleb Williams decided to transfer from Oklahoma, if I'm OU, I'm getting Dillon Gabriel to Norman. I'm trying to bring him to my football program because after Spencer Rattler, he is clearly the best quarterback on the market right now.
Oh, no, I like him. I like his left-handed release. I think he's got nice mechanics. He's a pretty solid athlete, and he's only 20 years old. So for himself, it kind of bodes well. And another thing that a program would be getting in Dillon Gabriel, a guy with a lot of experience who's played in some big games. The American Athletic Conference, people sleep on that conference.
Yep.
It's actually pretty competitive, and he's played in a lot of big games, put up a lot of big numbers there too.
A player I'm really familiar with out of my alma.
Are you in shambles? Are you okay?
Mater. I'm not.
You love Zach Evans more than anybody.
I do love Zach Evans. He's one of the most.
You were telling me he was the next LT.
I don't know if I said that, but I did say I think he's a top 5 talented running back in college football. He finished the year missing the final 5 games with a foot injury. I do want to add this. TCU's new coaching staff is recruiting him to try and keep him. That's the thing about the portal. It's not like once you enter it, you can't go back to your current school.
Right.
TCU's new lead recruiter, Rashad Samples, was tweeting at Evans. Evans liked those tweets, so I don't know how much that means. I think social media is a big deal for these college kids these days. That's why coaches are all on it now to try and use it as a recruiting tool. We'll see what happens. Here's what I know, Chase. This kid was the #1 running back in his class a couple of years ago, and when he was healthy this year, he was just running through dudes for TCU. Whoever picks this kid up, whether he stays or go, you're getting a really talented player.
Yeah, and I watch a lot of TCU games with watch a lot of TCU games with you, Harrison, and he popped off the page every single game that we watched. I mean, this guy is excellent. He's got great vision. He's got really good balance and power, really explosive as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a top 3-round pick in a couple of years, depending on where he goes and how he does.
Yeah, totally agree. At number 5, Jahmyr Gibbs, another talented running back, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech kind of in a weird spot. Their coach is on the hot seat.
Jeff Collins.
He's another name to keep an eye on. He was a part of that class a few years ago where you're like, how does Georgia Tech have like 5 4-stars?
Jeff Collins can recruit, man.
Jeff Collins got him in there, but hasn't translated to win. So we will see what ends up happening on this front. So these are our top 5. We'll go a little faster. We'll go a lot faster, actually, on 6 through 25 here. In fact, Jeremy, I don't even think we need to go reveal style the rest of the way if you are paying attention on that. So Spencer Rattler 1, Eli Ricks 2, Dillon Gabriel 3, Zach Evans 4, then Jahmyr Gibbs number 5, some of the bigger names in the transfer portal, and we got some more to break down. But first, subscribe. We're bringing in college football content every single week, or NCAA content, as Jeremy would like to say. You're welcome, because when we have videos getting 98,000 views, you guys are, you're feeling good about these videos, some might say. Subscribe. Don't miss any of it. We'll continue to bring you college football videos.
Just the content daddies over here.
That's what we do. And, hey, recruiting, it's heating up, so we'll have some recruiting videos as well. We'll go a little quicker now. Myles Brennan, the quarterback at LSU, Chase, if you remember, he didn't play this year, but last year had some good games, but he's had some injury issues.
Yeah, and then other guys on this list, who kind of stand out to me. Adrian Martinez, look, I was bashing him earlier in the year because he couldn't complete a simple out route. I do think that if the situation is right and he gets out underneath the pressure in Nebraska, he could really help a program out. I'm not saying like top tier, but if he goes to an American Athletic Conference squad or something in that range, a group of 6 school, I think Adrian Martinez could perform pretty well. I have to give him credit for how he rebounded.
Adrian Martinez offers a few things. Experience, he's started a lot of games.
Yes.
Toughness, he
yes.
got beat up at Nebraska behind bad offensive lines. Now, he hasn't won a lot. He struggles with the game on the line.
They had how many wins this year? 2?
3 and 9.
3? They were in so many of those games, though. He was a big reason.
You know what their
of that
point
as
differential was? 0.
Exactly.
Like, they could have gone 9-3 easily.
One of the greatest statistical anomalies in the history of college football.
Couple of Oklahoma players as well worth mentioning. Austin Stogner, big physical tight end. He's had a good year. Jadon Haselwood, former 5-star recruit, didn't play as well this year, but he was really good in 2020. Harrison Bailey as well, the Tennessee quarterback, a former 5-star. Hasn't done much at the college level, but he was a 5-star recruit, so keep him in his mind as well. But you talk about Oklahoma. Should OU fans be worried? Now, depending on when you're watching this video, maybe they have a head coach by then, but don't know what the coaching situation is. Guys in the transfer portal, SEC coming up in the next couple of years.
Type your N. It's a top 5 program.
Are you worried? I'm with you.
They're okay.
Pump the
it's
brakes.
going to be all right.
It's Oklahoma. Oklahoma's basically never had a bad stretch. Like, it's they're one of those programs that is just that good. Y for yes, N for no. Should OU fans be worried? 11 through 15, Tiyon Evans, the running back out of Tennessee, former JUCO kid. He was a 4-star, could help a program. Marcus Banks, cornerback out of Alabama, just kind of got lost on the depth chart there, Chase. But you get these SEC corners hitting the transfer portal. They're going to bring something to the table.
And sometimes it all comes down to a change of scenery. They didn't get along well with the coaching staff. They didn't flourish well in the defense that they were in. If they're a defensive player, same thing can be said offensively. They didn't like the situation of their class schedule or the campus. There are so many things that factor in to why these guys haven't lived up to the expectations of being 3, 4, 5-star recruits. There's so much that comes into play. And let's also, as a reminder, tell people, these guys are 18 to 22 years old. A lot of stuff going on in their lives, man.
Also, or it could be, hey, you're at Alabama and there's 10 other players that are as talented.
Some guys are NFL bound.
Yeah, it's just that's how it goes. Antonio Doyle, former 4-star recruit for Texas A&M. Josh Moore, character concerns, but he's a burner. He can really fly.
Really fast.
Had a huge game against Oklahoma this year before leaving the program. But when you read reports of There might have been a physical altercation between he and some coaching staff members. That's at practice. That's not what you want. Interesting note on Mycah Pittman. That is younger brother of Michael Pittman, who is now in the NFL.
Excellent wide receiver for the Colts.
And played for USC. Pittman was a high recruit in his own right, so keep that in mind. Do you like the transfer portal? Type L for like, type D for dislike. Boomers don't like it. Oh, you make a commitment. You got to stay 4 years there. Well, coaches leave all the time. So
and those same boomers leave their businesses for better opportunities, especially if they don't work out.
Let's not rip a kid for looking for a new opportunity. Like, I think it's great. Now, are there certain situations where the portal feels abused almost? Yes, but I think the pros far outweigh the cons in this situation.
Amen.
But let us know what you guys think. Type L for like it. If you don't like it, type D for dislike. Got some more players to break down, but I want to tell you guys about BetUS first. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code CHAT125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. When you lay down $100, you get $125 for free. Plus, that gives you extra money to bet on throughout championship weekend, bowl season, NFL games as well, NBA. You can bet on all of it. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code CHAT125. All right, let's keep it moving here. Theo Wease, interesting player, Chase, out of Oklahoma. Good in 2020. Huge recruit. 4 or 5 star. Might have been a 5. Was hurt all year, though, and now he's in the portal. So could be an interesting name to keep in mind. Chubba Purdy, the younger brother of Brock Purdy. Things didn't click at Florida State. We'll see where he ends up.
Does Campbell go with another Purdy?
Hey,
once Brock leaves?
Hey, man. Could be interesting. Kayden Lyles, I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about this kid, but Wisconsin offensive lineman, I'm interested.
Yes, me too.
If I'm a program that's light on offensive linemen.
Maulers and mashers.
Yes. Joseph Charleston, the defensive back out of Clemson, a former 4-star. He can play safety. He can play corner. Chevan Cordeiro, I watched him a few times over the past couple of years. Not nearly as good this year. But in 2019 and 2020, put up some big numbers, so could be a name to keep in mind if a team needs a transition year at quarterback out of Hawaii. Shout out your favorite team. Let us know where you're watching from. Who is your squad? Who you're repping? Get your votes down in the comments. All right, let's break down 21 through 25, and then we'll get out of this segment. Terrence Lewis. Remember when Maryland got a couple 5 stars a couple years ago, Chase?
Yeah, Mike Locksley.
Mike Locksley, former BAMA OC. Well, He was one of them, and he's done, nothing.
Yep.
But he is a 5-star recruit, so there's talent in there somewhere. Again,
physical ability is certainly there.
Like you said, I mean, sometimes it's just fit. Bentavious Thompson, veteran runner for UCF. I think he could offer something as a grad transfer. Jake Bobo, 6'5", 215, big physical receiver out of Duke. I think he could bring something to a bigger program. Deamonte Trayanum out of Arizona State, a running back. And then Pierce Quick, by the way, I just got the thumbs up from Tom Downey. He's a big fan of his game. Pierce Quick, offensive lineman out of Alabama, a former 4-star recruits. And guys are entering the portal all the time, Chase. And, hey, if you're running a college football program, you got to live in that portal because guys are available to go get, and there's a lot of talent in there.
I think it just makes college football better as a whole. One, college football programs don't have to completely tear everything down and rebuild. They can just kind of retool along the way. And for the players, this is good as well. Gone are the days where you have to sit out an entire year from playing and you use a year in your athletic prime. Instead, you don't like your current situation, transfer somewhere else, and you get a new life, and that new life can really be rejuvenated.
Well, and I think what it adds, too, is for programs who, when their coaches leave, bring in a new staff, it's easier to retool. You don't have to waste 2 years and bring in your guys completely. I think there's a chance to.
More pressure on coaches now because they don't get that buffer zone, but I think it's better for the sport.
A little bit of a give and take, no doubt about it.